Welcome to Rich Tribe. Look, if you're like most people out there, there's a voice in your head right now that is seriously frustrated. You know the one. You're grinding away 50, maybe 60 hours a week, literally exhausting yourself, but somehow you never actually get ahead. Well, in this explainer, we are completely dismantling the hard work myth.
Yeah, honestly, because I feel like I'm doing everything right, but it's sure not moving the needle on my bank account.
Exactly. So let's dive right into the actual under-the-hood mechanics of wealth so you can finally step off that endless treadmill and start building a real empire.
Seriously, why am I working harder but actually getting poorer?
Because you're operating inside a fundamentally broken system. In our modern economy, raw effort has been completely replaced by positioning. We're stuck in this massive productivity trap. Think about it. Thanks to technology, people produce way more per hour today than ever before in history. But does that extra output flow back to you, the worker? No way. It flows straight up to shareholders and executives. So just squeezing more physical effort out of your capped hours, that doesn't create wealth. It literally just creates burnout.
I don't know. I always just thought I needed to be more productive. Maybe pick up a side hustle or a second job.
And see, that right there is the trap. You only have 24 hours in a day, right? You can only sell so many of those hours before absolute exhaustion kicks in. Listen, two people can work equally hard, but only the one who utilizes leverage, capital, and scale is actually going to build wealth. Trading your capped hours for wages guarantees an absolute ceiling on your income. Real wealth, it's built through ownership, period.
Section 1. Behavioral traps and buy now, pay later. The illusion of affordability. $1.1 trillion. Let that number sink in. That is the staggering record hit in 2023 for U.S. credit card debt.
Wait, how do average, otherwise smart people get lured into such massive financial holes? Are we all just getting totally careless?
Not at all. You aren't careless. You are just being systematically outsmarted by brilliant product design. It all comes down to a psychological concept called present bias. See, by separating the moment you buy something from the moment you actually pay for it, the pain of that expense is totally muted in your brain. The whole buy now, pay later industry exploits this cognitive flaw perfectly. By breaking a big purchase down into 4 easy little installments, your brain literally registers the item as cheaper than it actually is. And the result? It causes consumers to spend 6.4% more than they normally would.
And it's catching on fast. Right now, 20% of U.S. adults are already using buy now, pay later services. Oh, come on. It's just a super convenient way to spread out payments without paying interest. What's the harm? Ah, that is the illusion. It's what we call phantom debt. Because these mini loans often bypass traditional credit reports, meaning you completely lose track of your total monthly obligations. It anchors your repayment at these dangerously low minimum levels. You think you're managing cash flow, but in reality, you are systematically bleeding your future income dry.
Let's move to Section 2, the psychology of wealth, internal roots and visible fruits.
T. Harv Eker coined an absolutely powerful concept in his book, The Millionaire Mind. He says the roots create the fruits. Think of it like a giant tree. If you want to change your external financial results, those are the fruits, you have to first dig down and change your internal, invisible beliefs about money. That means your wealth will only ever grow to the exact extent that you do.
Okay, but what does that mindset shift actually look like out in the real world?
Good question. So, the average mindset buys things based purely on the lowest price, and they constantly shrink away from problems. But the self-made millionaire? They buy based on long-term value, and they actively grow bigger than their problems. Think about it this way. If you have a level 2 mindset, an unexpected $1,000 car repair is a massive level 5 crisis that totally ruins your month. But a millionaire doesn't sit around wishing for fewer problems. They just aggressively grow their income and their emergency funds so that same $1,000 problem becomes nothing more than a minor inconvenience.
Like Eker says, your wealth can only grow to the extent you do. Look, even if you magically hit the lottery today, if you don't have the internal financial thermostat set high enough to manage it, you would lose it all. We've seen it happen a million times. Success is a really messy journey. If you aren't mentally prepared for the heavy responsibility and the headaches that come with wealth, your subconscious will literally find a way to get rid of the cash.
Let's hit Section 3, leverage over mere effort, the mechanics of wealth. All right, I get it. I'm ready to grow. So what are the actual practical mechanics to escape this rat race?
It starts with extreme intentionality. Self-made millionaires don't just hope to save. They save 20% or more right off the top from day one. Furthermore, 65% of them rely on 3 or more streams of income, not just one fragile paycheck. And they take calculated risks because, honestly, playing it entirely safe is actually the riskiest financial strategy of all right now.
Which brings us to Section 4, the power of compounding, time as the ultimate leverage. That all sounds great, but I just don't have enough surplus income to invest right now. I kind of need to wait until I get a promotion or start making more. Listen to me very closely. Time, not capital, is your greatest asset. Just look at the curve of compounding growth on a single $10,000 investment over 30 years. This is the monumental difference between basic linear returns and an explosive exponential snowball effect. Compounding literally means your money earns money, and then those new earnings go to work and earn even more money. It's a machine. Here is a mental shortcut the wealthy use all the time, the rule of 72. It's simple. You take the number 72, you divide it by your anticipated annual rate of return, and boom, you get the approximate number of years it takes to completely double your money. So, at a 10% return, your money doubles every 7.2 years, and that happens without you putting in a single hour of extra physical labor. We call this compounding momentum the 8-4-3 rule. If it's that predictable, why do most people end up quitting their investments in, year 3? Because human nature is impatient, and progress feels way too slow at first. Those first 8 years, you're just laying the foundation. It's a grind. But then, the next 4 years pick up serious pace. And those final 3 years, rapid, explosive expansion. The returns of those final years literally eclipse the entire total of the earlier years combined. You just have to stay in the game long enough to see the magic happen. Now here is an undeniable reality check for you. We have Investor A. They start at age 25, invest $5,000 a year for just 10 years, so 50 grand total, and then they stop completely, never put in another dime. Then we have Investor B. They start later, at age 35, and they invest $5,000 every single year until age 65. They put in a massive $150,000. Who wins at the end? I mean, it has to be Investor B, right? They put in 3 times the amount of money. Wrong. It's Investor A. An early investor contributing a fraction of the total cash will consistently beat a late investor. Waiting to invest doesn't just delay things, procrastination literally destroys your wealth. Okay, wow. So it's not just about the math. Honestly, I think the fear of the market itself holds me back more than anything.
And you know what? That is completely valid, because economics is deeply emotional. Mental health, anxiety, and these distorted internal beliefs we carry are massive hidden barriers to entry. We totally overestimate the cognitive effort required to invest, we amplify our aversion to risk, and we fall into this loop of self-reinforcing inaction. Recognizing that these psychological barriers even exist is the absolutely crucial first step to dismantling them.
Now, before we get to the final, overarching lesson that brings this entire paradigm shift together, I want to quickly remind you to subscribe to Rich Tribe channel, like, comment, and share. It genuinely helps us continue bringing you these deep dive explainers so you can finally take total control of your financial destiny. All right, here is the ultimate takeaway. You are never truly financially free until your passive investment income exceeds your living expenses. Just slowly shrinking your savings down so you can barely survive retirement, that is not freedom. True wealth is built and sustained through a passive money machine that pays you whether you decide to get out of bed that morning or not. Wow. So the whole game, it's really no longer about just trading hours for dollars, is it?
Exactly. It's a whole new playbook. Which leaves us with this final, provocative question for your own financial future. Really ask yourself this. Are you building a money machine, or are you just running faster and faster in the exact same rat race? The choice and the leverage is entirely in your hands.